One of the girls in my lecture today on calorie density had a broken jaw, and I guess it's going to be a while, and she can only eat blended foods right now. And I was talking about how liquid calories are less favorable than weight loss. Eat the salad, not the smoothie. And so she needs to lose a little weight. So if somebody can only eat blended foods, how could they follow the principles of calorie density and still get enough nutrition, but yet lower the calorie density?
Well, make sure that the smoothies that they're using are predominantly vegetable based, and not just fruit.
But like things like mashed potatoes, I'm guessing, are probably something a person with a broken jaw could eat, right? I mean, because she it's not wired, but
yeah. I imagine they could. Although, if we go back to the smoothie concept, a lot of people like juices because they're sweet. You rip apart the cell, you get to the components, so they'll drink juices. A lot of people like smoothies because they rip apart the cells, you get sweeter. And it may be useful for people that can't tolerate the natural taste of whole fruits and vegetables initially because they're addicted to the artificial stimulation of dopamine in the brain from the pleasure trap, to try transitionally using some of these things. But remember, the more you process that food down, the more difficult it is for your satiety mechanisms to regulate intake. Think about it. If you just eat oranges till you're full, you don't want any more. You might eat 2 or 3 or 4 oranges. Yeah. But a glass of orange juice will have 6 oranges in it. And so it's going to be obviously much easier to overconsume your highly processed foods. Now, a person that has a restriction in how much they can chew, you might actually benefit from having a little higher caloric density just so they can get enough calories in and get enough of the materials in. But it doesn't change the basic thing. You eat the same food no matter how you process it.
Well, how does the blending, I every time I hear him talk, I hear something new. I understood that it was more calorically dense, these blended foods, but how does it muck up your satiety mechanisms because it's funny?
One of the reasons is when you introduce large amounts of sugar and you get a big impact on sugar and insulin.
Like from a smoothie.
Like from a smoothie or from a juice. So just the change, the rapidity of the change, you don't have the natural buffering effect of the fiber. And so sometimes what we do actually with people with fruit is if you want to have less problems with fruit, just eat a lot of greens with it. It tends to slow down the rate with which the sugar comes. You don't get this big bang, you don't get the cravings that sometimes go along with it. Plus, if you eat enough greens, there's not as much room left to overeat on the other stuff. I mean, that's kind of the secret to this whole diet, is eat so much low-density food that there's just not much room to overeat on.
Right.
And you feel full, you feel satisfied, and you're not constantly having to fight your own internal biology because you've got enough to eat. And of course you get the nutrient density because you get all the vitamins and minerals and fiber and protein and everything else you need.
Do you think that people vary in their sensitivity of their stretch receptors? It just seems, because you've met my husband, he's very thin, and it's like, if he eats like one nut more, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so full, and I can eat like 10 pounds, and it's like, is there more?
And it's not just the stretch receptors, it's probably the whole mechanism. Some people, like Dr. Lyle, and he's the person that you could give him a piece of something and he would have half of it.
Yeah.
You and I are not leaving half of anything, so you know what I mean.
Right, that's right.
And our ancestors survived.
That's right. That's right. So
my ancestors ate everybody else's ancestors.
If you think about it, the vast majority of humans ever born on the planet never lived to reproduce. Okay, they were the losers. They are not your ancestors.
We're the winners.
You're the winners. Your ancestors were not necessarily the ones that said, "Oh, you first." No, they,
Yeah.
And so there's a certain advantage that, if you're a person that gains weight easily, you may think, oh, I'm damaged goods. No, you're the person with good plumbing, good absorption, highly efficient systems. The problem is you live in a world where there's all this highly processed food. If you were living in a natural setting, you'd be just like your ancestors, the survivors. You're the ones that would make it. The problem is in this world, you have to work twice as hard to get half the. Plus, if you're a female and you have estrogen, the fat storage hormone, and especially if you're pre or postmenopausal and your metabolic rate is thin, you're slowing. You have to work really hard. That's if you think about men and women. Men lose an average of 3 pounds a week on this diet. Women lose 2 pounds a week. That's 50% difference, and it's not because men are more disciplined. Believe me. Okay, it's because they have testosterone. If you inject women with testosterone, they'd also lose their fat. And then they'd get hairy and get cancer and die. Not a good strategy. If you inject men with estrogen, we get fat. We grow breasts, we get hips.
You get sensitive.
We get
Maybe you need a little estrogen,
Yeah.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this helpful, please don't forget to share it, and don't forget to hit that like button or dislike. Comment if you have anything to add to the discussion or just want to share your story. Also, there's some videos here up above to click on if you want to see more content from myself. Stay tuned for more videos from Dr. Goldhamer.